friends, welcome back to my channel. A very special welcome if you are new. My name is Leah Simpson. This is Homeschool at Heart, and today we're going to be talking about what I'm putting in my morning basket for fall of 2024. All right, guys, morning time is my favorite time of the entire school day. It is the time where I gather all of my kids around. We do all of our together time, and it's just a really great time of togetherness and kind of memory building. And I don't know, it feels like family time to me and not school time. And so it just gives me all the feels. I don't know. It doesn't feel like necessarily like school to me. It has that like true homeschool vibe in my mind. So I'm going to tell you guys what we're going to be doing. So if you have watched any of my morning time videos in the past, especially recently, in the last maybe 2 years, this is going to look like a much more scaled back version of morning time for us. The reason being is that my health has kind of taken a hit over the last year. So if you watched any of the most recent videos on this channel, you will know that I have been diagnosed with a kind of rare, I don't want to scare people, but I have a rare brain disease. And it's going to be a condition that I just have to keep living with. And so it's just a thing that I'm going to have to live with. But it's going to require me to have at least two surgeries this year. So I didn't want to commit myself to anything that was going to be too strenuous and too hard to keep up with. And so we're going to do some things that are a little bit easier, and that when people like my husband and my mom are having to help me with some things, that they're not going to be like, are you kidding me? You're making me do all of this work. I don't think that they would do that. My mom and my husband are probably both watching this video laughing. But, you know, these are things that they will also enjoy doing with my kids. So this is, I think, going to be good for everybody involved. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing. Okay, so first off, obviously, is going to be Bible. I guess maybe I shouldn't say obviously. Not everybody does Bible, so we're going to be doing this study called Fruit of the Tongue by Not Consumed Ministries. We really enjoy their Bible studies, and part of it is that they just really make it easy for you. So we're going to be all doing the junior version of this study this time. This says, death and life are in the power of your tongue. Your words should offer praise, be kind, be true, share Christ, bring healing, be humble, be pure, be thankful, be peaceful, and be respectful. And I'm really excited to be learning all of that for myself this year, not just for my kids. So this is going to be really great. So it's a study where you get into the Word of God, but also they make it really easy for you to do the actual study. So there's boxes to fill in, prompts to talk about, things like that, to do together. So they do also do a primary study, and there's an adult version of the same books. So if you want to do like a younger version or the actual adult version, you can get like all the levels, and we have done that, but the questions are not always the same throughout each level, and so it makes it a little bit more difficult to do together. And so that's why we're going to try out doing it like this, to where we all do the junior level. Charlotte is now reading really strongly. She can do all of the writing herself. She really felt like the primary one was a little bit of it was a little too easy for her towards the end of the year last year. So, and each one also comes with a sticker sheet so they can decorate their pages if they want. It comes with a bookmark that's really cute. And then also it comes with challenge cards, one for each week of the study. It's a 4-week course. So I also have the next one, which we're going to do, Navigating Friendships, which I'm also excited about for our second one. So this one, like week 1, just for an example, the challenge is select a family member or a friend that you would like to share good fruit with this week. So the fruit was what I just had read about. So like be peaceful, be pure, be thankful, things like that. Write them a note with one loving, one joyful, one kind, and one good thing. So those are the types of things on the challenge cards. So they're not too hard. So that's what's going to be going on for Bible. And then what else? I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, because I forget things a lot right now. Okay, so next up we have a couple of daily things. So this is on this day. So I did share this last time. My kids really enjoyed this last year. They want to go through it again this year. So for instance, this is a daily thing. So it's basically what happened on this day in history. So for instance, on March 30th, the SpaceX booster launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida, marking the first successful flight of a reused rocket. The same booster had flown into space the previous year. So there's like several things that happened on that day in history, and then there's usually like famous people's birthdays, things like that. So my kids really enjoy doing this. We got this one on Amazon. I will link it in the description box below. We do Sing a Song of Seasons, which is a poetry book. So there's a nature poem for every day of the year. So like, this one's short, February 15th. This page is all about owls. So February 15th is titled Owl by Anonymous. A wise old owl sat in an oak. The more he heard, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why aren't we all like that wise old bird? Why aren't we? Anyway, cute. Some of them are long, some of them are short. My kids like taking turns reading them like that, so super fun. We'll do those two things every day. They're really short usually, so that takes almost no time. And then we'll do, oh, this is a new thing, and this is really cool, something that I found by browsing Instagram this summer. So this is called To Every Nation, and this is also from Not Consumed Ministries, that, you know, I love that company. But it goes along with another company that I also really love, which is Youth with a Mission Publishing, YWAM Publishing. I use YWAM's books that look like this for supplementing for my big kids for history. So I will get their, this is Christian Heroes, but they also have, oh my gosh, I can't even think of the name of, they just do historical heroes. So like, for instance, they'll have Abraham Lincoln, they have George Washington, they have William Bradford, they have just historical figures where they'll do a biography on them, but they are written by Christian people on historical figures. And I will have my kids read their biographies, but I know that I can trust what's in them. So I'll have my kids read those, and then they narrate back to me what they've read. It just kind of pumps up the history curriculum a little bit for my junior hires. So this one is called To Every Nation, and I will link these things. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. So basically you're going through a study of 12 missionaries and their great God is what the subtitle is. So there's a little bit about each of the missionaries, a little picture of Hudson Taylor up there, and then kind of an overview of his life. The takeaway they want you to have from his life is endurance. And then there's a page about where he served. So he served in China. So you do a little bit of research about where he served. So Ningbo, China. And then about the word endurance on this page, the facing page. How do you think God can use your difficulties to show his glory? I feel like that's a really good question. And then there's some copy work. So you can use copy work from ESV or from the the King James version of the Bible. So this one is Colossians 1:11. Be strengthened with all power according to his glorious might for all endurance and patience with joy. I think that might be the end. Oh no, and then there's, you can write, like do a little report after you've read the book. So there's 2 different versions of it. So you can do like this little bit easier version of the report, which is just like right in your book, or you can just use the prompts to do some activities and write your report on a separate piece of paper. And then this says, what did you learn about this week? So I feel like this is going to take us much longer than a week to complete each one of these missionaries. And the first one that we're going to actually do, because I already had the book, was Amy Carmichael. So, but let's see, which missionaries do we have in here? Hudson Taylor, Gladys Aylward, Eric Liddell, Corrie ten Boom, George Mueller, Nate Saint, Elizabeth Elliot, David Livingston, Mary Slessor, Amy Carmichael, William Carey, and Adoniram Judson. So I think I have Corrie ten Boom. I might have Mary Slessor. I for sure have Amy Carmichael because it's right here in front of me. But I'll have to buy some more of them as we go. But I knew I for sure had at least 1 or 2 of them. So I got 3 copies of the workbook, one for each kid. And then I already had a couple at least of the books. But I'm so excited to start this. It's going to be so good. And then after that, we're going to do our read aloud. So I go back and forth between, we don't do all classics or all modern literature. So when you see the book that I picked for our read aloud, don't stress that I'm like one of those people who only does classic literature with their kids. I'm not that mom. I don't do only classics. Don't worry. We do lots of modern lit in our house. But we are doing Little Women to begin our school year. It is a giant book, but you know what? It's going to be great. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And honestly, I'm probably not going to do all of the reading of this. I have 3 children who all can read. They might take turns. We might get the audiobook and have the audiobook read to us while we all do some kind of handcraft. The kids are all working on a crocheting project right now. They all started learning how to crochet recently. We all, if you watched my video about busy boxes, they all have a little like sewing project that they're doing that's like embroidery or cross stitch or like little sewing kit things. So we've got that kind of stuff going on. They have all kinds of things that they can do with their hands. So I have embroidery projects that I am working on as well. Lots of like painting projects, things like that that we do all the time. So we may listen to it as a group. I may listen as well. It depends on what's going on. So that might be a thing that we do. And then after read aloud time, there is also like one thing that like kind of rotates every single day. So it's not like exactly the same schedule every single week. So the thing that we do on Mondays is we do Mail Time Monday, which is what it sounds like. We read a letter usually. So I'm not gonna, let's see if I can show you guys without showing my address. So we get writings from the wild. So, I don't know, do I have an open one in here? Yeah, I do. Okay. So we have subscriptions to Writings from the Wild. And what that is a letter from an animal. So this one's a grizzly bear, but they're beautifully illustrated letters. Some of them are double-sided. I think all of them nowadays are double-sided, but this is like one that I bought that was like an old like back letter that I was able to order an old copy of because we did California history one of the years, and so I wanted the grizzly bear. Anyway, so it's from the animal, and then she has like written a letter from that animal about themselves, and so they're telling like the facts and things about like a day that in their life. So it's really, really cute, and my kids really, really enjoy them. And they come with like a little fact card, and usually they come with like an email that has like some activity sheets and things like that too. We have a giant stack of them because I have ordered lots of, like sometimes they'll have discount times where like if you order a certain number of old letters, they'll give you a discount. So I have a ton of them. So we read a letter, and then I have the kids write a letter. I'm just gonna tell you guys, look at how cute these are. Okay, so I got these from Hobby Lobby. I was looking for stationery, like paper stationery, not like cards like this, but I couldn't find any. So if you guys have a place that you go to or order from to get like actual like paper stationery, like regular ones, not like ones you put in a printer, like regular stationery, tell me. But these were from Hobby Lobby, and they're precious, and they are only $2.99 for 12 cards. So this one says, one of the sayings on it is, "The Lord your God is with you wherever you, everywhere you go." Joshua 1:9. With God, all things are possible. Matthew something. I can't read it because it's small. My contact prescription needs to be updated. His love endures forever. That's from Psalm 136 something, it looks like, maybe. I don't know. I can't read the tiny, tiny print. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:18, I think it says. Anyway, they're blank on the inside, so this is perfect for what we're doing. I was needing to buy some more cards. So they write to whomever they want to on Mondays, and we just, do snail mail. Put a postage stamp on it. They practice writing out the address. We have a stamp for our return address that I got from Etsy, and they love doing all that. When we did our Harry Potter school year, we got like a little like wax seal, so sometimes they'll still do that, and it's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun time, guys. Okay, so then on another day of the week, we will do a poetry study. So we're still working our way through Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. This is from Simply Charlotte Mason, but I also got from, excuse me, from Amazon. They had an illustrated Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and it basically has the same poems in it. But they are really pretty illustrations inside this one. So if you want an illustrated copy, I'll link this one below. But I'll also link this Charlotte Mason one. They have some really nice cliff notes in this one that I really enjoy. This one they encourage you to not talk too much about cliff notes and things like that until your kids have gotten a chance to kind of talk through what they think about it. If you get stuck, then they'll say, okay, like, you can kind of prompt them with this if you need to, but like it's not really necessary. Just let them talk about how they feel about the work. So and then on another day we are working on a picture study portfolio. This one is Homer, because we're still doing early American history. So let me show you the back. This actually shows what this packet has inside of it. We're doing early American history still through Beautiful Feet books for our history program before we move on to modern history. So we're doing that another day of the week, and then the last day, because we only do a 4-day school week, and then the last day it's usually, I mean, it's a floating day. It's not necessarily consistent, but one day of the week we watch my sister's kids or we'll go do something fun. So last day of the week that we do school, we will also do journaling. So these are not like journals where they write anything private in. These are journals where they write about school things. So me showing you, these are not anything that's going to be mortifying to my kids. So just letting you guys know, I would not show anything that would be embarrassing to them. So these are the same journals that we have had. I think this is going to be the 4th year that they have used the same journals. So they've worked for a long time. In the last year or 2 years, maybe, we have added using these picture stickers, and this has been a really fun thing for my kids. So they just write like a little paragraph about something, and this is part of a work sample we started using for their electives for the charter school that we use. So they'll write one thing a week about either their musical theater class or their voice lessons or their piano lessons, something like that. Ellie will be doing horseback riding lessons this year also, in addition to those things. You guys, it's getting more complicated as kids get bigger. I didn't even think about that, but you know, it's fine. They're starting to get minds of their own, and that's a great thing, right? So we use this little Canon Ivy printer. I know that there's also a Canon Sprocket, but this one had better reviews, so that's the one I got. And so far we've loved it. It has been a great purchase. We use it for a lot of things. I also use it to, we have a Yodo player, and I make my own cards for a lot of things. And they're pretty close to the right size for making labels for Yodo cards too. So if I can find these journals, I will also link them because they have held up wonderfully. Like I said, we've used these same ones for, this is going on, I think, year 4, and we'll probably finish them this year, but they don't look bad at all. They've held up really nicely. And I just used my Cricut to make the little cover. They were just solid black, and they are just, you know, they just are plain pages on the inside. So you could use this for drawing or anything you want. So that is everything, I think. I will, like I said, I'll try to link everything that I've talked about in the description box below, and I'll let you guys go. Let me know if there's anything that you guys are doing that you're super excited about for your morning time, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Have a great week. All right, guys. This is the time of the video where I share something from my real life or a funny story or something like that. So if you're new, this is the time. I do actually have something that happened this week that was semi-funny and not sad. Not sad. Sometimes the funny stories, I get to the end of the funny story and I'm like, maybe you guys aren't gonna think that's funny. But this is kind of, maybe you guys aren't, I don't know. But this isn't sad. It's not sad. So last week, I think, I was going to Sam's Club, which is where we put gas in our car. So I decided that since we were gonna go I was with my mom, we were gonna go get gas that evening anyway, just for that purpose. We're going to go to Sam's Club, and it's, I don't know, it's like a 15-minute drive from our house, and there was like a couple of things maybe that we could have gotten, but we didn't really need anything from Sam's Club. But I was just like running an errand with my mom, so I was like, well, I'll just drive, and then we can get gas in my car, and then Tim doesn't have to do it. So, and I was, if you've been around here, you know that a year ago, a little over a year, in fact, So it's July now, a year ago May. So May, June, July. It's actually August. It's just now August. What is today? August 7th? So it's August 7th when I'm recording this video. So it's just August. We're a week into August, so hopefully nobody's like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with her? Anyway, a year and a couple months ago, I got a new car. We pull up to the gas pump and I'm like looking for the little lever that you pull to like open the gas tank, and I can't find it. And I'm like, I don't know how to pump the gas. I don't know how to open the gas tank. And I realize I've never pumped gas in the year and basically a quarter that I've owned this car. I've never pumped gas in it. My husband has done it every single time. So I literally had to call him from the gas station and be like, how do I open the gas tank so I can pump the gas? I was trying to make it like a nice surprise. He was gonna get home and be like, okay, after dinner we have to go get gas. And I was gonna be like, surprise, I did it myself. Aren't you so happy? And he was gonna be so excited. But instead he was laughing. Turns out all you have to do is push on the door and it just pops open. So anyway, now I know for the next time, next year when I pump gas for myself again. So that's my story for you. Please tell me that there's somebody else out there that doesn't ever have to pump gas for their own car. Because everybody I've told that story to in person has looked at me like I was crazy. I'm just spoiled, that's all. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great week. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great rest of your summer.